Okay, so here we are. This is the block. It's Portland stone. It's come from Dorset, Portland. It's a beautiful piece of stone. I work a lot in Portland stone, and this particular block I had particularly cut from the quarry. It's had no imperfections in it at all. It's the sort of stone that we use on buildings, and particularly in London, etc. So that has been cut to a rough size, and that will be probably around about that size of the drawing. It's on its side at the moment, but we're going to be putting it up on the banker in the next couple of days. It just needs drying out a little bit. Now, as far as the technique goes of cutting stone, and you'll see it as we go through over a period of time, but just to give you a little idea of what we're going to do to start with. Once the stone is on the banker, the drawing will be put on the side, and we will just reproduce a rough drawing on the side elevation and front elevation, and then we will block it out. And blocking out basically means, as you can see, he's got a lovely Homburg hat there, and to do that I will take out sections of the stone from both elevations, both from the front and the side. Okay, that will basically shape out the hat, and then from there I will shape the top of the head and the hat, leaving everything else below so that it gives us support. The more stone that's below, the better it will be for support, so there isn't any accidents of breaking away. Once I've shaped out the crown and the brim of the hat, and then I'll block out underneath, in front of his face and behind his head, and also to the sides also of his head, and that will basically give me a shape. From that point on, we will then go into roughing out, which is where we will basically rough out a real basic shape of the face and of the shoulders and of the chest. Once that stage is done, we'll then go into the more detailed work, and that is putting in the features: ears, hair, nose, mouth, little things like that. They come on much later, but the initial stage, the blocking out, is very important, because we have to make sure that those dimensions are right. Everything is done from the from this drawing. Nothing is done from anything like a model. We don't do any work with what is called pointing out, which is basically working from a model or a maquette and then taking points from the model onto the stone. That's not a technique that I use. My technique, as I explained before, is direct carving, somewhat unused nowadays and almost unheard of, but it's a beautiful way of carving stone. You work directly into the stone, and as I said, I will be really looking forward to doing this, because working the top and gradually coming down into his face and into his features, which you will follow as I go through, is just a passion of mine, and it's a wonderful way of seeing how a carving can be developed.